Hi, I'm the director of all of these videos you're seeing. My name is Drew, and I'm grateful for Pops, because whenever I came over, he always had a treat or something I could look forward to.
So I met Philip about 19 years ago when I started working with Robin at Florida Pneumatic. I was married at the time, and as Robin and I became really good friends, we went out as couples. Only 2 or 3 times as couples, but Philip and my husband, Denny, continued to hang out together. They could not be more different. Philip was this sweet-talking Southern boy, and then there was my husband, a New York Italian through and through. But they formed a great friendship, and as years went by, I became closer with Philip. I don't ever remember him calling him by his name. I always called him Big Daddy, and I'm really not sure where that came from, but it seemed to fit. And every time I saw him, I gave him a big hug and kiss, and he seemed to like it since it always made him smile. Anytime I went to the house to see Robin, he always tried to feed me or make me a drink. He was the best cook around, and he loved it when I ate something he cooked. But one of the sweetest things he did was packing up lunch and snacks for Robin. She'd come into the office with these little bags of goodies or a container or two, and she wouldn't know what was in it until she opened the bag. And then in the bag was a container with my name on it. He would send food with her all the time, and if he didn't hear from me, he would text Robin and ask her if she gave me the food. Sometimes she would forget, and then I would text him, of course, and thank him. It's those little things that he did, and so much more. I could go on and on, but that was the best of him. I love you, Big Daddy, and I miss you.
Hey Drew, it's Gigi again. I thought of another funny story about Pops. Pops loved the Catfish House, and occasionally he'd have me go up there, or he'd go up there and we'd get some fried shrimp and some catfish to bring home. So this one night he had me going up to get his catfish and his fried shrimp. And now with Pops, anything you do with Pops, you have instructions, and you have to follow the instructions to the T. They're very explicit instructions. So anyway, when I get up there to the Catfish House to pick up his fried shrimp that evening, I'm supposed to take a pen and poke holes in the styrofoam so that the steam does not stay is released from the styrofoam box, and the fried shrimp remains crisp. So wouldn't you know it, I got it in the car. I didn't have my pen as usual, so I'm flinging stuff all around, trying to find a pen, pulling everything out of my purse. I finally found a pen at the bottom of the floor of my truck as usual, my ADD, you know how I am. So I'm poking holes really fast, then I zipped it back up, and then I'm on my way home. I'm speeding, I only got like 20 minutes to get there. So as I'm coming through Tequesta, all of a sudden, woo, 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 cop pulls me over. So what do you know? He comes up to the car. I'm like, officer, I'm so sorry. Was I speeding? I didn't even realize I was speeding. He said, yes, ma'am, you were doing whatever. So I said, oh, sir, I'm so sorry. I said, my husband, I've got to get this shrimp home to him. If I don't get it home to him right away, the shrimp is going to be soggy, and I'm going to get in very big trouble. And I went and I said, look, I opened up my bag of shrimp. I said, look, as you can see, I have holes poked in the styrofoam so I don't get in trouble for having soggy shrimp by the time it gets there. He said to me, ma'am, you go ahead and you have yourself a nice evening and get that shrimp home to your husband. And I just want to let you know, Drew, I still have a safe driving record. It's been 20-some years since I had a ticket. I talked myself out of every one of them.
I don't know when we met. First time, I would ride to Whitner Street with my father, the Osborne brothers. Had a new Cadillac Lincoln Corvette. Always going to West Palm Beach. Just came back from West Palm Beach. Billy was the richest car man in Florida or South Carolina. On Sunday, they would come to Reed Creek, always driving a new Cadillac, wire wheels. Stop by the house just to say hi. When I was 15, my father got married. My stepmother sent me to Camden Military Academy. The next year, Billy sent Philip. So he rode to school in the back seat with me. He's 14 and I was 16. We get to Columbia, South Carolina. He rolls down the window, looks at me and said, "You want to smoke one?" He starts to roll one out of a big Ziploc baggie, ZZ's Top papers, then pulls out a blue Bic lighter. He asked me, "Think your stepmama wants a hit?" I'm like, "She's the one that sent you to military school, ain't she? Please, Philip, don't do it. I'll jump out running 75 miles an hour." When we got to military school, we went to formation. You had to stand up and tell everybody who you are. Where are you from? Came Philip's time. He yelled out, "Philip Osborne, L.A." I looked at him and said, "You not from L.A.?" He said, "Yeah, I am, Lower Anderson." I could talk all day, but promised not to tell. That was when he was 14. Then I found out who the boss was. Philip had the best mother of anybody in the world, Lou. Lou sent Philip $100 every week so he didn't have to eat in the mess hall. I KP'd for $6 a week. Before long, he told me he had a plan. Nothing can go wrong, he said. All you have to do is say, "Here," when they call my name. My aunt in Myrtle Beach is going out of town for the weekend. I'll be back before they miss me. Just to stay here when they call my name. Well, I guess he liked the beach. After about a week, somebody told on me for saying "here." That was Camden Military Academy. I could spend all day here, but when the Army went to the Army and came out and started van business. Went to Darlington, up walked Philip. He said, "Somebody named Bill Jenkins is backing me. I can buy anything I want. Unlimited money." I couldn't believe it. I sold him a van. He gave me a ride home. It started from that day, 1978. Now I'm the bad boy. Can you imagine Philip was the good one between the two of us? We're like twins. Lou was my mother too. I had a Harley Davidson in my living room. Just rode it around the living room. One day Philip said, "Let me ride the Harley Davidson down the road." "Do you know how?" I said. "Yeah, I'll be careful." Okay. Out the front door he went, down the steps, up the road. Hours went by. Started raining. He pulled up soaking wet. My new Harley Davidson not new no more. The more I raised hell, the bigger his smile got. "Where did you go?" went to LA. Let's stop here. I'm still the bad boy and Philip is the good one. He's went to LA. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eve. I am Philip's daughter-in-law. And I loved Philip because every time I needed a babysitter, he was the first one to volunteer, and he always fed us really good treats. Even my dog would go over there and get good treats. And he was very kind and fun.
It's me again. I just wanted to let you know I'm going through some old pictures of Pops and I when we first started dating. Going down memory lane, you know, that kind of fun stuff. Anyway, in his obituary, I put that he had gambled. He was a gambler, and that he got lucky and got me. But that was by using his Southern charm too. But you know what? He's lucky he got me. I mean, if you look at these pictures, I mean, check me out. I was pretty darn hot back then. I mean, looky there. Here's another one. Yep, there's another one. And, oh, this one here. He would take pictures of my hair. Really weird. He loved my hair. It was thick and long. Apparently his other girlfriends didn't have nice long hair, and it wasn't thick, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we used to go out to dinner, and then we'd go home and sit on the couch, and actually we'd lay on the couch, and we listen to music and probably have a little bit to drink every now and then we'd dance and just snuggle and cuddle and all that stuff. Stuff you do when you're like, you know, like a 15-year-old when you're dating, but that kind of ends after 10 years or so. Anyway, he was really sweet. He was really, back in the day you wouldn't think the Pops would be a cuddler, right? He's not much in cuddling, but he was a big cuddler back then, and a smooth talker too. Anyway, one night, he was actually a jealous guy. Did I tell you that? Oh yeah, very jealous. One night we had gone to a concert, and his limo driver, which his best friend Mark, gave us a ride to the concert. And Pops, you know, sometimes he wasn't a good boy. He would sometimes have a little bit too much to drink, and then he'd have to start talking the way he shouldn't be talking, and then I had to excuse myself and go to the bathroom. But what I was really doing was I was excusing myself to go make a phone call and call Mark to come and get me. Well, he came and got me that night, all right. I got home and I was sleeping, and about probably midnight, I could hear these footsteps pounding down the hallway. I was like, oops, I'm in trouble now. He's realized that I left him at the concert. Anyway, he got so mad because when he went out to call Mark, he couldn't find me. He was wondering, what the heck happened to Robin? I'm sure he was wondering. He probably thought I took a cab. I didn't take a cab. I called Mark. So anyway, he's out there calling Mark, and he finds out that Mark is over at the condo dropping Robin off. I gotta tell you, that makes me laugh. Every time I think of it, I can still hear those footsteps coming down the hall. Well, I gotta tell you, that was the day that Mark was told he was not allowed to talk to me no more. And that was the end of it. I wasn't really allowed to talk to his friends. It was kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Pop was always jealous. I don't know why. He had me already. Anyway, but that's it. I'll keep on going and take it down memory lane. And, oh, I can tell you one more. Well, we'll talk about that later. But you know what I want to tell you? My eyes. I think I need to get an eye lift. You see how my eyes are like, it's like they're drooping. I don't know. Like, see that? Lift them up a little bit if you can, because I think it's time. I'm in my 50s and I still look okay, but nothing like I used to look. But anyway, that's it, and I'll keep looking through the map. Go ahead.
All right. One of my favorite memories of Pops is one of the things is he always used to get up earlier than obviously anybody else in the house. He was an early bird compared to us, and he'd go and kind of get the tables at the beach for us on a Easter Sunday or different Sundays like that at the beach. And another thing he used to do very early for us is we'd go to Orlando maybe once a year, every couple of years, and we'd go to different parks, and Wet n Wild was one of our favorites. Or I don't know if it was Wet, no, actually it was another one. It was Blizzard Beach. Blizzard Beach, and Philip would be the first one on the spot to get a table for us. But not only to get a table, he made sure he ran to the table, put all our stuff there, and was the first one in line to get onto the biggest slide there. So it's just kind of funny to even think that Pops would want to even ride a ride like that. But he's the first one to make sure he gets in there because he's not one to sit in lines. So he made sure we had our table and everything ready to go. It's just kind of interesting that he would do something like that.
Yeah.
That's just the type of person he was.
Yeah. Well, remember he was like the first one to open up. We all had to count down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's every time we would go there, they would do the countdown for the opening, and we'd be in line with our big old cooler or whatever, and we would carry the cooler, but he'd go run into the, make sure we had a table and make sure he got on the ride first.
Yeah, and he's the one
And
that
after
opened
that,
up the park.
he was at the table for the rest of the day, hanging out. But make sure you get on that ride.
My favorite memory with Pops is that one day we went to Disney, and I convinced him to go on the Space Mountain with us, and he had gotten like motion sick, and he had to get like rushed out by the paramedics, and his face was like white as a ghost. Then after that, Gigi got me on all the rides quick. She would go up to all the workers and say, hey, please let me go first because my husband just got rushed out by the medics. And they would always let us go up front. Okay.
Hey Drew, it's me again. Bentley's giving me the eye. Look at him. Because we're sitting here going through pictures, memories of the back in the day when Pops got me. He was very lucky, I'll tell you that. Because, I mean, if I show you some of these pictures, I mean, look how pretty I used to be. So he had me at my good years. That's just one of them. One of many. Hold on. Jiggle that belly. You can play the drums on it.
That's what she's been doing.
She played drums on his back. Oh, golly. Just look at this. Oh, I got a big one, too.
That's all she's got.
I can't get all down in here on my belly. This is all I got. I got about 2 or 3 rows right here. If I could push my all up here, it would just be so nice. I know Pop's got a belly. Look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, don't, that hurts, baby.
Don't hit it hard.
No, it's just, she's not hurting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Gigi has a big old belly too,
She
unfortunately.
always goes to 9.
Can I see it?
No.
May I see it? She said you brought it up?
Huh?
Can I see it?
You want to see my belly?
Yeah.
Say pretty, please.
Please, I can look at it.
7 days, 10. That tickles.
You do have a big old belly, though.
I got a biggest belly.
You got the biggest one I ever
You
seen.
do.
Do you want to talk on it?
Belly like
I
you
just
did
want.
Paul's.
Oh, it's soft.
Yep. Feel mine.
That's nice.
Feel,
Oh yeah, it's nice and soft.
feel mine.
Yeah, feel yours. Good gracious alive. Look at that.
Yeah, you need to lose that. You don't be saying that when you get older.
You have a biggest.
I'm sick of that. Holy moly.
You got a pretty belly, though.
Yep, it's
Oh,
a big
yeah.
belly. Isn't it big belly?
It's a big, beautiful belly.
Yep, it's a big belly. Paul, see my belly? Want to see my belly? Want to see my belly, Pops?
Good gracious.
Isn't that?
That's a big one.
It's big.
Yeah, Pops. Yeah, you want it? I want you. Mine's big. No.
He doesn't want to see your boobs. He's got some big old boobies, though.
I probably said the wrong thing.
Here's my boobies.
Don't show your boobies. No, one's
No.
supposed to see your boobies. Hide those boobies.
Look at them.
We don't want to see them.
They're big.
No. You're not supposed to show your boobies. You can show your belly.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
That's your private part.
My big belly.
That's a big belly.
Pops. Let me see your booby.
Your boy boobie.
I did that.
What's it?
Did that to me.
No.
That's good.
Yeah,
Let me